Alright guys, today we're going to do some extra help on the Introducing Ratios PFA for those of you who have not passed it yet. This PFA passed in October, so a lot of you have it for red, so let's get that fixed. Alright, so we're going to work on the different objectives. There's two objectives, which is using ratio values to keep a consistent, or to help predict a value or fill out a table. So that's what this one is going to work on, is objective 1. So it says find the missing value of the ratio table. In order to do that, I have to find what my unit rate is to figure out what my value for 5 is. So I have to find that rate, and I can do that in a number of ways. One is I could set up my ratio in such a way that I can compare them together. So I could do 100 over 25, because these are my first ratio. Okay, I just took those and put those there. Over 5 equals 5 over x, because x is what I don't know, and 5 is the same as 100. And then I can cross multiply that to solve that. 5 times 25 is 125 equals 100 x. Then I can divide by 100 on each side, and that gives me 12.5. So that gives me 1.25. I move it over 2 times 1.25. So that was the first way I could do that. The other way I could have done that is I could have found out the unit rate by taking 100, or any of these numbers. I could have taken 60 and 15, 30 and 77.5, 100 over 25, and dividing it out to find my unit rate. So 25 goes into 100 4 times, so my unit rate is 4 to 1, meaning that this is 4 and this is 1. Okay, so there's one of these for every 4 of these. That would mean that I would have to take 5 and divide it by 4. 4 goes into 5 one time, minus 4, gives me 1 left over, so I bring the 0 down, put my decimal up there, that's now 10. 4 goes into 10 2 times, minus 8 is 2, bring the 0 down. 4 goes into 25 times, so again we get 1.25. So whether you wanted to set it up with the ratio values set equal to each other, or you wanted to find the unit rate, either one works, because you get 1.25. Alright, let's move on to our next problem. Problem 2. Sharon needs 3 pounds of turkey for every 2 people that are attending her party. How many people can she feed with 30 pounds of turkey? So again, we can do it either of those 2 ways. We can either set it up as 3 over 2, because it's 3 pounds of turkey for 2 people, equals 30 pounds over x. Or I can do 3 divided by 2 and simplify it. I know 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. And then multiply 1.5 times, or divide 1.5 by 30, because we have the 30 here. Because we have the 30, which is the 3. So either one would work. I'm going to cross multiply now. 2 times 30 is 60, equals 3x. Center my equation. I'm going to divide by 3, divide by 3. 60 divided by 3 is 20, so I can feed 20 people with 30 pounds of turkey. Again, the other way I could have done it is I could have taken the 1.5 and divided 30 by it. So if I did 30 divide 1.5, I have to move this decimal 1 place, so I have to move the decimal here 1 place and put the 0 in. 15 goes into 3 0 times, but 15 goes into 30 twice. 15 times 2 is 30. So that's going to give me 0, so I just bring that 0 up, and again I get 20. So either way would have worked. I either could have reduced it to my unit rate, or I could have set up the ratio. Either one would have been fine. Either way, she's going to feed 20 people with her turkey. Alright, so let's go ahead and go to my next one. My next one says the ratio of girls to boys at the school dance is 3 to 2. So this is our girls. 3 boys is 2. There are 54 boys at the school dance. How many girls are there? So we know there's 54. Okay, so if we simplified this to get a unit rate, again, we could do 3 divided by 2 to simplify it to get a unit rate, which would give me 1.5. So that would be, there's 1.5 girls to every 1 boy. So this time we would do 54 times 1.5 because we need to increase it to the 1.5 ratio. 5 times 4 is 20, carry the 2. 5 times 5 is 25 plus 2 is 27. Bring the 0 down. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 5 is 5. 0 plus 0 is 0. 7 plus 4 is 11. Carry the 1. 5 plus 2 is 7 plus 1 is 8. Put 1 decimal point in. That gives me 81 girls. So that was finding it using the unit rate. I could have also set up my ratio again to 3 to 2 equals x over 54, and I could have cross-multiplied to get 2x equals 54 times 3. 3 times 4 is going to be 12, carry the 1. 3 times 5 is 15, plus 1 is 16, divided by 2. And 162 divided by 2 is 81. All right, so now let's move on to the next one. All right, so my next problem says the school office orders a box of pencils, and the boxes of pens are in a ratio of 5 to 2. So 5 pencils to 2 boxes of pens. If 60 boxes of pencils are ordered, how many boxes of pens should be ordered? So again, we're looking at pens and pencils. And my ratio is 5 pencils for every 2 pens. And we got 60 boxes here, but we don't know how many pens. So again, we can do this too. We can either set up our ratio and say 5 over 2 equals 60 over x and solve it this way. We would then do 2 times 60, which is 120, equals 5x. Then we divide by 5 on both sides. 5 goes into 12 one time. That leaves 2 left over. 5 goes into 20 4 times. So it's 14x. So for 60 boxes of pencils, there's 14 boxes of pen. The other way I could do it is, again, I could simplify it to find my unit rate. Okay, so 5 divided by 2. 2 goes into 5 2.5 times. Okay, so that would be 2.5 boxes of pencils for every 1 box of pen. So I would do 60 divided by 2.5 to find out my pens. I've got to move that over 1. I got to move this over 1. Okay, 25 is going to go to 62 times. And actually, I wrote this wrong here. 5 goes into 12 2 times here. So that 25 goes into 62 times, that's 50. Okay, that gives me then 100, and 25 goes into 100 4 times. So it's 24 for our x here. And I wrote this wrong here earlier. It should be 24, because 5 goes into 10 2 times, and 5 goes into 24 times. All right, so let's move on to our next one. Problem 5 says a roll of nickels has a $2 value. Create a table that shows the ratios of different numbers of rolls of nickels to their values. So here I've got a table, right? And I've got 1 roll of nickels, 3 rolls of nickels, 5 rolls of nickels, 7 rolls of nickels, and 10. Each roll of nickels is a $2 value, which means that I'm going to multiply 2 for each one. So 1 times 2 is 2, 3 times 2 is 6, 5 times 2 is 10, 7 times 2 is 14, 10 times 2 is 20. So now I have my table, because 2 is my unit rate. All right, moving on to my last question here. Liz earns $7 per hour to babysit the Cochran family. How many hours does she have to babysit to earn $28? Okay, so we know her unit rate in this case is 7 per 1 hour. And we want to know how many hours she has to work to earn $28. Okay, so there's our ratio table so far. This is money. This is hours. Okay, so again, I can set it up as 7 over 1 equals 28 over x, and I can cross multiply to solve it, and that gives me 28 equals 7x, and if I divide by 7 on each side, it gives me x equals 4. Or, since I already had the unit rate and I know that it's 7 to 1, I could have divided by 7 and did 28 divided by 7 right away, which would give me 4. Either way, she's going to have to babysit for 4 hours to earn $28. All right, now that you're done, you're going to go take the Introducing Ratios PFA in Summit. Hopefully you guys take your time and go through it so that way you can get a green. Have a good day, guys.